Okay, I've got 6 o'clock. I guess we'll call this meeting to order. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make the motion.
Okay, I second that one thing, I guess, before I do that. 6A, the tax abatement. I didn't realize it wasn't on Beacon yet, so we might, table that until it shows up. So 6A, the tax abatement in Shenandoah, we're gonna wait on that.
Yes.
So other than that, like that motion, I second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, with that, the pledge of allegiance, all right, the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Now, at this time, we have public comment, and anybody has public comment, welcome to come up and do that. And we will be talking, give a chance to talk and discuss it as we go through the agenda also. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Shirley Long. I live in College Springs, but I have a farm in the very southwest corner of the county. And from on J64 from the Carlson corner west, the road edges need some attention. There are 6 to 8, 10-inch ruts along the edges. And also from 64, J64, south on Page Fremont, it does need attention occasionally. Fremont comes to 320 east, but goes not south. Page County usually doesn't hardly hit it at all going south. It's kind of washboardy at times, and there's a new building or a new house going to be constructed, and Jason's living at the corner there on the other side. So we do need some gravel there occasionally. So, and also the road from College Spring, Maple Street, from Maple down to 64 needs attention. It is in terrible, terrible shape. It needs to be scarified possibly and looked at and something done with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Then we will open up and before, if we vote on anything or discussion of these items. Okay, well, there's no other public comment. We'll go on to. Oh.
Can I know?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
You guys started. Sherry Hunter down by Blanchard, Iowa. I just wanted to say a few things. I don't know what has been said. I just wanted to talk about, you had mentioned about maybe switching to night meetings. And I know maybe there was some pushback and some different reasons for different things. I just wanted to say that like the last 2 night meetings, one of them I had a concert and the other one I had sick kiddos. We were able to see them, which was nice, but this is the first time I've been able to come for a long time and I still have a sick kiddo now. So it would just be really nice. I don't expect night meetings all the time, but if we could do like every other week, so I don't have to wait then 2 months if I have an issue or whatever. And I think a lot of people feel that way, but I just think that's one of those areas where we can make a good solid compromise and meet in the middle a little bit. I know that maybe that's tricky, I don't understand, but everything involved. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is just a little bit about our gravel road to 90th. I don't know if either of you ever drive on that road. This was the road that Kramer Construction used to go down with fiber optics. And they drilled in the road, not in the ditch. I didn't know if there was a road use agreement for that. But we still have, we got tons of gravel. It was in bad shape. We got tons of gravel. We were so excited. And then they literally dug with a backhoe on the south lane where your tire is. And so when it's wet, you're going up a hill, you'll hit those areas where they've done it. So it's like on the top, it's a bunch of clay. So it's really hard. I mean, we don't have an SUV right now. We just have a minivan that I drive. So it's a little hairy, a lot of praying just to make those few miles home. And so I don't know if there was a use agreement. We have been kind of watching the meetings. We never saw anything like that. And I know that that was Kramer Construction working for Mid-America, and they drilled their line and then they dug with the backhoe. And I can take pictures. There's huge potholes. When it rains, you can literally look down the road and see where the damage is. And that's like thousands of dollars worth of gravel that we put. I don't know how much gravel we put on that road, but they literally that next week just dug it under the ground. Then a couple weeks after that, they re-gravelled several stretches that were ruined, and they dug again. It was like 2 days after they re-gravelled. So I'm like, were we graveling for them, or were we trying to clean up their mess? I don't know, but I was kind of irritated because we drive on that road. So that was just my thing, and I can get pictures, but I encourage you guys, if you want to come down on a rainy day, I prefer you drive a minivan when you do.
I got one.
Okay, and that's all. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Anything else? Nobody else wants to go, have JD come up, we'll ask him some questions. Okay.
Good evening, JD King, Base Gun Engineer. Fine evening, tonight, tomorrow night, we'll see. You received the engineer update via email. Weather dependent operations. With the rain and ice and sleet tomorrow, maybe snow. We'll find out. We don't control the weather. Blades were out in the districts and we were hauling rock with 2 to 3 trucks, depending on which day it was. We're shearing and piling trees down on 300th Street, west of 71 by the trust. We're also working along Q Avenue down to 290th. We were down at the corner of 310th, J64. And we're working up north toward J52 and then on up north to 270th Street, all on Q. That's also one of the roads that's gonna get some rock in the spring. So we're working on the brush. Alongside that, the other tree cutting crew is near Northborough. And I've got some guys hauling in beams, salvage beams from the Essex Bridge. We chose to retain those beams as salvage for future bridge repair on our local stuff. The shop is working on the belly dump trailers. Airbags came in today. The service on the number 4 motor grader. One of our tandems is due a service this week. And the Catmore tractor, the head was checked out okay up in Minneapolis or Altoona, but we haven't got it back together. The bridge construction continues. You get a picture for it. This is a picture up at Essex West. You're looking from the south of the bridge upstream. Those white beams on the those, that's what we're hauling in. They're on the east side. They have 3 cranes on the site. The crane is shown right there, 165 ton, pretty big crane. Makes that 80 ton crane look small. So that crew is removing the superstructure. You can move to the second photograph, please. Gonna see here is the the view of 280th Street from the north of the bridge looking downstream. The bridge you see there is their work bridge. The location of the new bridge is going to be in the foreground of that. And they're working on town, and doesn't show, this was from last week. We're working on putting the copper dam in for driving pile. They're working on the copper dam so they can drive the west pier pile. I'm still working on raising grant on support letters. Thanks to the board for getting me one. I've got probably 3 requests out for that in various entities. My budget meeting scheduled with the board toward the end of the month. And then the next thing I have is the discussion of seal coats. Will you have any questions for me aside for these?
Yeah, those concerns there.
Public comment.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you talked about a certain corner on J64. You know what,
J64 and Peggy Freeman.
but you also said another, you labeled it with the name. Is it all that one?
The edge, you said from Maple South. Is that what you said?
The edges from J64 west to Peggy.
From west to
Peggy
Right,
Freeman.
from where west?
Carlson Corner, Autumn area,
Oh, okay,
Point Road.
yeah.
And then concern about Kramer Construction that tore that road out and right after it was wrong.
290.
Whatever happened with that? What's did they ever come up with any money to fix what they screwed up or not?
Not on that piece, no.
Do we have any recourse?
We could send them a bill, but tough getting money out of them from the first time, so.
Is there a permit issue to start with to come in?
It was
To
the
do?
utility permit.
Like I asked maybe a while ago about that. Can we tie, nobody gets to do this without some kind of deposit or some kind of guarantee they're not gonna
Right.
take a little bit of rock they got, no more projects without, no permits without
Correct.
deposit, yeah, okay. Okay, well, you want to go on to the next
So,
step?
So,
Do you have anything, Todd? Sorry.
well, so you'll be able to reach out to them maybe and try to get.
right, we'll see,
Something and
you know, tell them.
take a look at that road on 290th.
Correct,
Okay.
and I know the piece of road. she's talking about. So our next item of discussion is talking about some of the steel coat roads that have been ground up in the past. And we're planning to restore those to a hard surface condition or seal coat. Currently on the 5-year plan, we have J Road and a portion of J53 west of Vine. Could you pull up some of those maps for you? Okay, this is the combined map. J Road is in the green up in the northeast corner. J53, the whole piece of the road is shown in blue, east of Shamball. And then J55 is in red at the bottom of the screen on the right. Previous board wanted to talk about this, and they have been getting some comments about when this was to be done, and how soon. And so we can talk, you know, this is not, we're not approving a 5-year plan here, we're just discussing it and see which kind of direction the board has.
How many miles, just to help know what we're doing, you told me before, but how many miles is left on J55, that down there, how many
Okay,
miles?
J55 from the Quarry Road east is 4.7 miles.
Okay, what is the,
the whole part of J 53 is 7 miles. Or 6.95 miles, rounded up to 7 miles. J Road is a total length of 5.5 miles, however, since half of it, so 2.5 miles is shared with Montgomery County, it's actually where the cost of Page County is 4.25 miles.
Okay, on J 53, what's the green and the blue or purple or whatever, what's the difference, what's the,
On
The
the
miles.
5-year,
yeah, just to know.
that was split, that was one of my ideas. To do part of J 53, but not go across the bridge, we're doing that now. So the east part of that is 2.5 miles. From the county line,
4.5.
it's 2.5 from the county line to Vine.
Right, and then 4.5 on over to Shamball.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I'm showing it here as just one project,
right,
or
Yeah.
I'm showing the whole of not split.
yeah, they can't see that, yeah, okay. This doesn't have the years on there either, does it?
No. That's just showing where it is.
Yeah, that
So
picture.
right now, the J Road, the green part is scheduled in 23. And the other part of J 53 and J 55 is scheduled for 2025. And, from my standpoint, we haven't made plans for these yet, or we haven't drawn up a plan set for these yet, whichever one the board, whichever project the board wants to do, we can do it, as long as we're working on it.
Now, the money to do this will have enough to do what you want to do in 23, saved up, however, you're farm to market, or where's that money come from? Through all the-
It's the J 55 and J Road both are farm to market roads.
Then we have to save for 2 years to have enough to do it again. So now we're getting the money.
Right. We get $1 million. We get $1 million a year in farm to market fund.
And you said, I asked you earlier, but this, so the math can be out here, around 350,000 a mile to do what we're trying to do right now.
Correct, $350,000 a mile. We'll grind in cement powder and put a double chip seal on top. That was the estimate the contractor gave me.
So we gotta
a
save
week ago.
2 years to get enough to do. What you're trying to do.
Right, and we can also borrow ahead in the farm market fund.
Are we borrowed ahead on the farm market fund or?
Yes,
Oh,
we're borrowed ahead 1.5 years, but we can borrow ahead up to 5. So we do have sufficient funds to do one of these projects.
so the reason we're skipping a year is trying to save up more funds, do another chunk.
Yes,
I'd like to do it all at once, but trying to make the money work, so,
What road needs it work?
yeah,
depends on who you got.
that's true.
Yeah, depends on where you live.
So we're talking about, let's get the math going here, we've got, on my calculator.
So the
So-
J Road is 2023, and so is the portion of J 53 going into Shambach is 2023 as well.
Right, I've done some ciphering, so J Road is $1.5 million.
Yeah.
The whole part of J 53 is $2.5 million. And the east-west part of J 55 is $1.6 million.
You guys are not getting money on the infrastructure money,
That's what I'm still waiting to hear on. What is the infrastructure deal? Is there real money there? Cause Chuck always talks about all this money that's gonna come and I don't,
I've got two opinions of that. You want to hear
yeah, go ahead.
them? To a certain extent, it's smoke and mirrors, and it's complicated by inflation. We've seen bridge costs go from $160 a square foot to $250 a square foot. So any extra money is poof, gone away. And we're trying to gain some extra bridge money with this raise grant, but it's a competitive thing. And I don't know of any other extra infra money coming down to county grant. So I think it's.
Oh, yeah, let's see here, 2.5. 7. Well,
I mean, we got interested, you know, like, maybe it's not my place, but we have interested parties behind us, or in front of you guys, behind me, so,
yeah,
you know, I'm not averse to hearing
right,
what-
you know, it's all right to hear what we think. We know they're all need done right now, need done yesterday, so I mean, there's no argument about that. Just trying to find the money, we're sitting here. How to do what, I mean, the only thing that jumps off the map at me here, and it isn't based on how rough any of it is splitting J 53 in half to do 4.5 mile this year and not finish it. I know it'd be nice to do that 4.5 miles, but we have about 4.7 miles on J 55 that would do it complete with a bridge in the middle. That's the only thing I see kind of just for logistical difference. I don't know how to make this decision because they're all bad. I don't know how to know which one to do first. There's no winner. They're all terrible.
First.
Well, yeah, that's another way, like how long they've been for. I don't know the years.
5 years, 4 years.
It's been 4 years.
So.
So it's 4 years. I don't know. Right. Well, right now, as long as there's money, it's either this year or 25. So, and there's nothing else. I should cut in front of it, but, so you're 4 years out. When was J 55 and J 53? Was that 2 years ago? Or I don't even
There
know.
was some done in
Yeah.
2019.
They have done 5 years of gravel. How can that be cost effective for the county to continue putting that money into improving these roads and not spending so much on gravel that does not do a good job?
Well, I don't know, JD, why is there a bunch of loads of gravel down there? Is there some reason for that?
Last year, they did one, whatever it was top of it.
Well, when people don't have rock
Yeah.
on the road, they complain too.
Yeah.
So,
One thing that's true here, I don't know if we have the math on this, is how much we save by not, we are gonna save something doing this. How much is being saved, Scott, brought that love time. How much are we gonna save the next couple of years if we go ahead and do it? To go towards this 1.6 million, we're gonna save 100,000, 500,000. Do you know any math on that? Is there a figure? We can figure the rock pretty easy, but then the maintenance and all that. Kind of a rough guess,
we spend $5,000 on rock a mile.
a mile. Then there's grading it and driving over it and messing with it more, so we'd save something to put towards it.
But I mean, you can work on a gravel road, which is, not a same level of service as a hard service road for a lot before you even $350,000 a mile.
But if we're gonna do it anyway, we could factor that towards it, if we're doing it anyway, factor the money towards it, but. Well, what we have here in front of us is basically, some of it's gonna get done in 23 and some of it's in 25. That's what money we have to spend.
Will the roads take precedence over ours?
What's that?
Will the roads take precedence over ours if something comes up?
Is there any other road that should be done anywhere?
There's also been a few roads that have been squeezed in. What are the roads that could have been done before now?
Now, this is gonna be a better situation than the road up by Essex when they had that cover. They were promised years, years, and years before that would happen, but they didn't have the concrete base in there. did
The
they?
cement, right.
Yeah, this is gonna be a better road too than what that is, but,
And that had more traffic.
and it had a crazy high traffic count. So anyway, but
Right now, County Township, one less than a mile.
yeah, that's why
There's a way under the township.
I would say it needs a lot of attention, but, myself, what do you think, Todd? We're trying to,
Well, so the 5-year plan, what's the purpose if we're not sticking to
yeah, it changes a lot.
what we say? So, I mean, I would say, you know, if we have roads that have been on this 5-year plan and we've talked about them and nothing's gotten done, somehow we need to stick to that. And then, do we redo a 5-year plan every year?
Yeah.
You kind of, well, you add a year, you're always adding a year, because you have another, you know, on the end. But you know, that's what I think, every time we do this, I think it's done, but then it seems to change, so.
Right,
Well, we have this right here in front of us, we can, as long as we're here, commit to this, but how do we? We cannot do all of the roads on this in 1 year, we can't do it, so we have to break it up as fairly possible, however that is, so. We can commit to do it, but we can't.
What about right
What's that?
borrowing head copy?
I don't know, what is the risk to borrowing ahead? We just, if something comes up,
The risk to borrowing ahead is that if some road falls apart that has to have money,
and we don't have it,
we don't,
but what's the interest rate on that? Is there interest?
nothing.
There's no interest.
No.
And
What are
we're-
the chances of the dollar amount per mile going down? Let's just go and play it right now, for the, you think it'll drop?
Bubble
I
being
mean,
off.
stuff that's stable on it. I mean,
So
two pipe quarters ago, pipe steel went up 40%. Last time I ordered pipe, it didn't go up from
I heard they see it going down, I don't know. So,
If there's
good.
a correction or a recession, steel will fall. Because they won't be building much
I
anymore.
heard they recession, that's why I was wondering if the inflated price would go down, or you get more bang if you wait a year to borrow. Or if we go up.
Well, what could we do if we tried to jump at a year even? If we did what we could do in 23 and then we borrowed for 24, trying to
Right, just,
speed up a year,
that could be done.
borrow a little ahead in 24.
So I guess.
I'm kind of one that doesn't like borrowing, but I like getting stuff done, so I try not to borrow too much, but.
and you said we've already borrowed a 1.5 years for
Right,
sale.
right.
And that goes for everything in the county. We have to work with, not just pavement. I mean, this is every road.
That's just farm to market money.
All farm to market road. Yeah, Chuck, Todd, or Scott, you got something?
Is there more than one contractor out there where we should get bids on this work? There's one.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure, there's others.
we did get 2 bidders last time. But there's a dearth of contractors that do this kind of work. I mean, primarily it's Manats.
We'll get a couple of bids for sure.
We'll get a couple bids. I mean, we let
We
this
found out what
DOT
our-
in
Several.
name.
Yeah, several things we've done. We found massive, like on the windows, it's way different on the bids. So definitely want to get more than one bid. This is just a guesstimate to make the numbers tonight,
This is budgetary.
just to see where it might be.
I mean, in 2017, 2018, on the dump road and the Page Center Road, our costs were $160,000 for a mile.
So they're doing it then. Half
I
price.
mean, we did 11 miles that year.
Yeah, that's good, did that. Well. So that's the situation. Now, what is the right way to do this? Borrow ahead. Now, is there any savings by doing more in a year? If we borrow ahead, but we're doing more, as we get cheaper price per mile.
They don't have to mobilize once.
They have to mobilize once, so maybe we
Down the
save
year.
some.
So,
we borrow ahead, but we save per mile, because maybe we look.
And that might be difficult, I mean, difficult to quantify how much savings. Because we'll have.
Well, could we have a bid it that way? Could we have a bid it 2 different years? And then say we do it all in 1 year, what's your bid? You get to come in here and do it all at once. Maybe save some money, because like building a shed this long or that long, it's cheaper, you go a little longer all at once. It's small. I don't know if that'd be something they would give us a
I'd
figure.
have to ask the DOT
How
how they
about
could
that?
write that contract up.
Well, it'd be just so many miles, I guess. It'd be do, how many miles we got here? We got 7. About 17.5 miles-ish. Of all of it, that's a huge project, but if we did half that or all of it, what they would do. How much will we have the money? How much money is $1 million a year? We're 1.5 in, so we have 3.5 we could borrow. Right?
Right. But then we'd be borrowed ahead in 5 years.
What's that?
Then we'd be fully borrowed.
And we don't want, I mean, that's probably way too much risk. If anything goes wrong, put ourselves in a bind. Well, right now, the way it stands, there's money that will be there without borrowing ahead any extra this year and then in 2 years, right?
Or, you know, we can continue to discuss this between now and when the 5-year plan is due in April.
Yeah, try to make a plan.
Can I ask why you tear a road out and wait for 5 years?
Well, we originally chew it up and get rid of the potholes and wheel ruts.
Well, I get that part. I live on J53 and last week they finally got that. The graders came and they done the next job. But if I don't have the money to do something, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Well,
And
I would say that we're not starting this project. We're reshaping the road so it's not as dangerous to drive on with the wheel ruts. That, you know, we can't pop snow on right, or the potholes, it's just patch after patch after patch, so that they couldn't see. You guys are maybe you know, travel that road, but that's, other people complain about that road, that's, you know, patch and patch and patch.
I just, it doesn't. Where the bridge went up, like you just said, through all this COVID. I think. It just doesn't make sense to me that the money wasn't there when we started the project. I realize the project takes time. Realize that we had to pack the road down and come in and ground and blade and all of that. I'm not sure it takes 2.5 years. But I understand you got time to think. As far as the contract is concerned, if it gets on one stretch, J53 ought to be the last road done, because he doesn't have to blow that and read and move. Anybody that's gonna come and do the job wants to stay there and do the long job first. Because nobody gets paid to load and move.
Right. Is that math up there? No, you can't, that's the biggest thing that jumps off the page to me is do it all at once and not have them jumping around.
Right, that splitting up the J53 was just because of this bridge, so.
Right, but
Once,
there's 4.5 miles on that first stretch, there's 4 or 7 on J55, so it stinks for J53, but just about the same, do all of J55 and then do all of J53 all at once when they come in there. Now, all the culverts and tubes on J55 have all been done a year or 2 ago, right? So they're ready.
right, we've been working on drainage structures on all those.
So that's all prepared, thought through
Correct.
the ditches and all that stuff. Well, I'm fine. I don't know. I think we already did this last year, but I'm committed to these roads that are on this map. Doing them before anything else. As far as pavement or hard surface goes, I'm committed to that. That's what we have on here. I think Todd's committed to that.
Yep.
So I'm not, as long as I'm here, I'm not gonna change my mind on that. So
So,
it's just finding the money. Do we borrow ahead? I mean, do we do it? It's the right thing to do. get too far out. I don't want to get too far out. I don't know all the negatives to that.
Yeah, other funding, other farm to market funding for the road.
Not the roads, the bridges. We have a separate fund for bridges.
Gas tax, none of that goes to roads.
We have local, well, gas tax. The money we're talking here is a separate construction account. We get, the road department gets road use tax money, gas tax, and property tax into the secondary road budget, and we blade and we haul rock with that. So that goes to roads.
And that comes in after July 1.
It comes in every month, we get $3.1 million in road use tax. And I don't know how much, million something from, property tax transfers.
So you
In general.
can't use any of that money. The farm to market road.
Oh, yes. Moving rock, we put rock on those roads.
So you can't
We
make
can't,
it a hard surface with that money.
if there was, right, that's money,
He uses that money.
we use that money to do operations.
Oh, yeah. I understand that, but why didn't you sign that money?
To help, that's why we're getting ready to go into budget. And that's what I was thinking about, and I talked to you about earlier. Once we know kind of how much it's gonna cost, we know where we can try to start squeaking money out of things. And like I don't know if it's gonna be enough to do it, but every little bit would help. The local option sales tax money, some of that goes to the engineer, to the roads. I don't know how much that is, there's some,
55,000 and it hasn't changed in 10 years.
now we've got, and I'm going by memory from last year, we're gonna get all that back out. There's some pretty big things we were doing with the records and then things we were saving up for, we're not gonna have to do anymore. Different things we were doing every year, and I can't remember all the different situations, but there might be some money there we could still.
Now, this is tax money, but historically, Page County's given 75% of what they could. I mean, there's a maximum levy that the board can transfer to the road department. That's $3.38 a ton. Historically, Page County's done 75% of that. If they were to do that, the maximum transfer possible, there's $300,000. I've asked for it and I don't get it.
Does that raise taxes on everybody?
Yes, it does.
Raise the taxes on everybody. So we're not wanting to raise taxes, we're wanting to find the hole we can plug and. Well.
We can,
This is a thinking session. This isn't in concrete. We're gonna do this in April. Actually,
right.
hire these contractors who did, yes, Scott.
Whatever happened with the Taylor County supervisors, going with their connector tape,
Yeah.
all the way to Siam. That was so promising a year ago.
Right, what's the situation there?
I haven't talked to them lately, but I do know that the supervisor in that corner is not a supervisor anymore, and I don't know the supervisor over there.
They were
Except the
on
one.
It's one project. And I'm thought here, is there any way two counties could appeal to the state?
They're cramped.
The grant, because it would benefit two counties tremendously. We have.
You know how to get them bridge grants, find out how to get a pavement grant. Where's one of them at? Well, I don't mind reaching out to Taylor County and talking to them. I know the one lady you're talking about, I visited with her, but I don't think she's there anymore.
Correct.
Yeah, Pam Wilmar, yeah. I visited with her about that, now she's not there. I don't mind reaching out to them and checking with them, you know, the engineer over there, he works with them a lot, maybe just see what the opinions are.
And Watson's on there now. He was big in the park.
Visit with her, then so you talk to him, I don't mind reaching out to him. I agree with Mike, if he even lives on J53, it's like if we have to, we can't do it all in 1 year, you have to. It doesn't make any sense to break it up in half, just do as much as they can do, it'd probably be cheaper. We're getting ready to go through the budget, I'm hunting for money, I'm gonna hunt for money in the budget and try to find some money that's not. I kind of think the whole purpose we sit here, the main purpose is the road, I mean, that's kind of the main purpose we're here. There's a lot of extra stuff that's okay, I wanna put the pencil to it, see if we can find some money to put towards something like this.
Is that $55,000 on that local option tax, is that a month or a year?
A year.
Year,
That's a year.
yeah. Yeah, I gotta squeeze the budget to see where the money is that we can spare. But that's coming up, we're gonna go through budgets here at the end of the month, first February, so we're gonna kind of have with this in mind and how many million. I don't think there's enough to do this, but maybe we can find ways to squeeze it out and see how soon we can do it, or maybe speed it up a little bit by borrowing a little bit ahead, some situation we can talk about this. But I guess I'm committed to doing what we have on here.
Okay.
Yeah,
At
I mean,
least the
I
fact-
I guess I look at it as people that have lived on a road that's been tore up for a long, long time and they've waited and waited and waited. I think those concerns should be addressed first and then keep moving through the list. Now, whether that's, that's not gonna make everybody happy, but I think, people have been patient a long time, and if they've been on this 5-year list and still have not, keep getting pushed out and out, then I'm sure the road's not getting any better.
No, it's not. Well, if we did,
That's the problem, is if you don't come up with a plan, how do you effectively create a budget? If you keep moving the 5-year plan every year. I mean, that would be a huge obstacle.
and I wasn't here 4 years ago, you were told 4 years ago they were gonna do it that year.
They were gonna do it the year after, or the following year, no later than.
Okay, well, I don't know what happened
So I
there.
don't know, like I said, I totally understand that the budget, the project, but you keep pushing the project off, how do we ever budget? Because something else always gets precedent.
Right, there's always a new emergency, but
Granted, things take time, you gotta learn. the
Right.
things out there for everything. Well, it's not along the way, you gotta remind. Here, the market.
we're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Yeah, what Scott was saying about Taylor County, is there something out there for just multiple counties? And then, I mean, that could be the same thing, you could have that also.
I think, like, right now, the way you have it is, J-Road's getting done this summer, that's to be in the budget, that's what's on here. If it's been a long, tore up, and if you can do the whole thing, that's already on there, so, right, I mean, that's what we're looking at. It's 23, that's this summer, so, you're right, you're as close to getting as anybody on this map, so. That's this summer, so when we bid it, it would get bid, it's just trying to decide what we do with J 53 and 55. Cause we have a bridge going in on 53, so we gotta wait till that's done, to settle. So we have to do part of J 53, you don't see this on the map up there, but part of it this year and part of it in 2 years, and all of it on J 55 in 2 years, so. I think it makes sense to try to do the 4.7 on J 55 this year, and then see if we can come up with enough money, how soon we can do J 53, the whole shot. Will be the next thing to do, the whole thing.
Yeah, instead of splitting it up.
Instead of splitting it up, if I was bidding this, that's how I want to bid it, if I was a contractor. And I think it'd be more reasonable and do all in one run, all the way to the county line. So it's just discussion, we gotta work through it, so that's how I see it right now, that's how I'm looking at it, I don't know what else to do, I wanna do them all. But anything else needs to be said, I know everybody's roads rough, I know you've been waiting forever. Is there anything else?
Bill and all the contractors that don't, agree to do all of them, agreement or there's something about Bill.
Well, that's what we talked about earlier before, and before I need more permits to dig in whatever power line, phone line, whatever, they're gonna have to do something, we gotta have something written up where they can't cost us a bunch of money anymore.
Yep.
So that's just ridiculous and terrible. These contractors come and take advantage of us, and then then they're gone. And we're trying to find a way to pay road.
Well, they shouldn't be allowed to run the money.
They should not,
No.
and I don't know all the,
You got right away, right away. It's easier for them to drive up the road, granted, but.
cheaper for a contractor. On these issues, before anyone else comes in to bury anything else, we've talked, me and JD talked a lot about this after it happened, so. Of course, as long as I'm sitting here and trying to talk, we're gonna make sure that's not done again, so. And see if we can get some money out of it, you know how that's gonna go. Trying to chase around after the fact, it's not gonna be very successful. So,
They say you have lots of money and you've done really well in art.
yeah. Well, you would sure think so. There's been several issues.
If not, you shouldn't be hiring.
No. Probably not.
Well, Okay, so we have, this is basically the hard surface roads, and these three we're talking about. We've heard, anybody else have any concerns or ideas we're not thinking of? I'm open to any thoughts you got. Something we missed, we're not thinking of how to do this. We're gonna squeeze the budget. Let's see what we can do. But these are the top of the list. It's right here. And as soon as possible. Okay.
Thank you.
Having your road be rough is not a fun situation. I come from Missouri, so I know all about rough roads. Really rough roads, so.
Have roads down there?
Yeah. Okay, that's a very important topic we're trying to work through here, and we don't want to kick the can. I don't want to kick the can. Okay. Next we have 6 on the agenda there. It's Angie. Thank you for being here.
So I sent in the semi-annual report for publication. That is the format that would go in the paper. I do have some additional documents that show we're in balance if you want those. But usually, I don't know if you have any questions. There's usually, it's all just funds.
Yeah.
We balance in our office by what's on the report.
It looked excellent. I think it's fine.
Perfect. So really, I just have to have approval to publish it,
Make a motion to publish then.
please.
Okay, I make a motion, we publish the treasurer's report.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. You do a wonderful job. Okay. See here. Got that done. That's quick, see? All right. John, I got John Bob here. Thank you for being here.
I'm not gonna be that quick, but I'll try to go through this.
Okay.
But, according to Iowa Code 350, we just have to give you guys a yearly kind of recap on everything conservation did. Recap for last year, we were able to raise through grants and private donations, just under $20,000. Did you guys get this that I emailed out?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right, so I'll just kind of paraphrase a lot of stuff. A lot of that was used, we're gonna get new playground equipment at Nottaway and Pierce Creek. It should be installed March, April-ish. And then there was some more improvements that were done at the equestrian area, then resurfacing and leveling, some camping spots at Pioneer. We also, major projects were the construction of a new shelter down at Ross Park. And then ARPA funds helped us fund the boat ramp and then the armory and the shoreline at Pioneer Park. Those are kind of our really big high dollar projects. 2023, unfortunately, a lot of the projects we have planned is really gonna be dependent on the water level. The fishing docks are planning to put in a lot of the dredging if we don't get more water, which is, it's not gonna happen. Other than that, the big thing we're looking at is gonna be the roads at Nottaway. They are getting pretty bad. And that's about it, pretty much just finishing Pioneer, dredging Pierce, and the roads at Nottaway are the big projects.
So where do you get your funds for road like at Norway?
Yeah. They're great for grants. And unfortunately, with the roads at Nottaway for grants, we kind of fall in a weird, since we're not a public road, that excludes us from a lot of grants. It's basically treated as a private driveway.
I have a question. I've not
Yeah, no, yeah.
asked the board this on that. Why was the $70,000 boat ramp picked over not as bad? I hear that road not way as bad. Why was that picked instead?
When we initially got the ARPA funds or when that came out, the first thing we came to the supervisors for was, hey, can we get the roads at Nottaway? At that time, before they loosened it up, the restrictions or whatever, they flat told us you can't use it for roads.
Yeah.
So then we kind of pushed everything on the back. Another thing with Nottaway too is when we put it out for bid, just to see if anyone was interested. We got one bid from a company in Omaha to do the whole park. They were looking between 1.6 and 1.8 million, which just put it.
How many
way out.
miles is that?
The whole park, I think, is only 2.5 or 3 miles.
And that's to do what, asphalt or something?
That was for asphalt. The good news on that is there's a company that's gonna work on the roads at Essex. One of my board members was talking to him. What they were bidding us in Omaha, they were saying like 6 inches of asphalt, they'd have to tear up their, I mean, pretty much rebuild and everything. Talking to him, my board member did, I haven't talked to him yet. He said he could probably do it for a fraction of the price, we wouldn't need more than a couple inches of asphalt, and he said the road we have now wouldn't need to be tore up, it could just be patched and then they could put asphalt over it. But I have not met with him yet. Because pretty much what we do now is we spend 5-6 grand a year on cold patch and just try to get the bad spots.
So, you have on here on the agenda to maybe use 50,000 of Pierce Creek dam repair towards the road. Is that what you want to do?
Well, and I was gonna ask you that, the good thing with Pierce Creek, since it is a fishery, it's in a park, we're eligible for a lot more grants on that. But I mean, just sitting here, using that 50 grand to go towards county roads where someone lives on instead of the park. I mean, that was pretty much how I was gonna come in here, is do we still have access to that 50? Because if not, I can make another plan. If we need to use it somewhere else, that's fine.
Well, we talked about back in that, not the boat ramp was before Todd was here and I voted against it. I know it's nice to have a boat ramp, but boy, that really disappointed me to spend that much on a boat ramp.
Yeah.
Up there, of course, in the level of your needs and wants.
Correct.
So, okay, so you don't want to need any action on that right now, to move that money or?
No, we just, I mean, if your guys' plans, I know we're gonna, try to squeeze money. I mean, if it's available, that's good, but if you guys are planning on using someone else, I need to know so I can come up with a different plan.
On your, well, we'll have to wait and kind of see, because like I said, this is people where they live is more important.
Oh, absolutely, no, yeah, 100% agree.
But that road's probably more important than the boat ramp, so, we'll have to think about it. Now, the figures you're getting on maybe the more reasonable way to asphalt, or even if somehow with what we're doing on these other roads, if it could be tied in or something at a cheaper rate, when we do it, we need to just make sure we're coordinating.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
The more you do, the cheaper it is, but we've got to get the roads put back where everybody lives first,
Oh, absolutely.
so.
I agree.
But anyway, we got the art money that's left, we gotta see what that is and see, make it stretch what we can.
Okay.
Work it out, but we're gonna know a lot more here in about a month or two, once we go through all these budgets and see what money is where, but. Thank you for bringing this all to our attention and,
No, not a problem.
and what we're doing, and the recap.
Yeah, yeah. Very good.
Thank you. Yeah,
That boat dock. How much money?
That was 70,900. So
How big is it?
it's what, 44 feet long. I know it goes 22 feet into the water. I want to say it was 20 feet above the water.
What's it made out of? Concrete, mesh, and
Yeah, concrete and
any?
some crazy industrial corrosion-free rebar. So a lot of the costs associated with the boat ramp wasn't necessarily the concrete, it was all the excavating they had to do. And then all the rock.
What's there now?
The what?
What's there now at the boat dock?
well, it was rock before, and then they
Yeah, it was just gravel that kept washing
had a
out.
gravel,
It was the old quarry road. They just said this is done.
it's done,
Yeah.
yeah, that,
Yeah, another question, on the dam. That's $50,000,
Yes.
what are you doing to repair?
That would be, we're gonna end up doing the tree removal ourselves. That was for the armoring, putting erosion stone in 2 feet below the water to put above, all the way along the south, or the whole south portion of the dam. And then the concrete work of the spillway on the other side, because the spillway is actually cracking.
yeah, it's a huge dam up there,
Yeah.
that makes more sense than the boat ramp. I mean, it's a ton of money, but
I wish we would have gotten that report before we did the boat ramp.
right. Well, it's just something to think about, we're figuring it out.
Mhm.
So, I mean, so right now, we're not gonna spend any money at the moment, we're gonna look at the situation and look at the budget and see what all shakes out to be, so,
Oh, sound good.
thanks for the
All right,
report.
thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sean. Okay, is that done? Now we're to a big giant long one, it won't take too long. All the appointing of the, item 8, appointing and reappointing township clerks and trustees. These terms will expire in 2026, December 31st. I reached out, there's a lot of trustees and clerks on here. I called and called and called the last few days, and I think I got a hold of all of them. Pretty much all of them, or the clerk in the township, if nothing else. And I think we're good on all of them, to my knowledge, except for Harlan Township. They need to find 2 in Harlan Township, so we're tabling that one. I talked to, the clerk there, and he said he would work on it. And so he's gonna work on that, come back to us, so. That's my report on it. I think we're good on all other townships. I can go ahead and read these real quick, and then we'll make a motion. In Colfax Township, clerk of John Christensen, trustee Randall Gant, trustee Tom Edwards. Douglas Township, clerk Dennis Meyer, trustee Stephen Carlson. East River Township, clerk Dave Sperry, trustee Darren Sunderman, Fremont Township, clerk Randall Winstrand, trustee Steve Paul, Mike Johnson, and Reggie Carlson, all trustees. Grant Township, clerk Lisa Holmes, trustee James O'Hara. We're gonna table Harlan Township, Lincoln Township, Gary Huseman, Roger Bearhorse, and I actually looked at that, I think that's a typo. Gary's term doesn't end for 2 more years, I think that's a typo on there. But, Morton Township, clerk Pat Athan, trustee Darren Athan, Nebraska Township, clerk Angie Hakes, trustee Ed Hakes, Nottaway Township, clerk Donna Wagner, trustee Kevin Clement, Pierce Township, clerk Darwin Holmes, trustee Chad McClintock, Arkeo Township, trustee Curtis Meyer, Valley Township, clerk Raymond Dick, trustee John Poston, Washington Township, clerk Jason Gibson, and trustee James Whipple. I said, I talked to a lot of these guys and ladies, and they are all servants doing this for, a lot of you know this, I was clerk for all you guys, a lot of you in here do this, it's a service to your neighbors. And we really appreciate everyone that takes the time to do this. So, on that, except for Harlan Township, I have a motion to approve all of these, appoint all of these township clerks and trustees.
I'll make a motion that we approve all the township clerks and trustees.
Okay, I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll come back to Harlan whenever he gets a hold of. Okay, all right. Item 9, discuss action on retaining outside counsel regarding commercial wind energy conversion systems and the application process. Went for some guidance there. So on that, we have a motion to go forward with retaining outside counsel.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, board communication, we're about done, guys. I have a few things, I'll go over and see what you have, Todd. We're leaving tonight, Todd and I both are going up to supervisor training and, or ISAC training for county officials in Des Moines. That's coming up here Wednesday and Thursday, we'll be up there trying to learn something. I had an email, did you see that, Todd, with the window Farnsworth group wanted to adjust some of the process of their contract and things. I didn't have time to adequately go over that with her, so I think I'll visit with her, or you visit with her too, we'll figure out a plan, put on the agenda next week. to Solve that. The women's restroom today, I don't know what happened on that, Christie, do you know if anything was resolved on that today, or? Okay, well, maybe after the, if we can adjourn it, we wanna go down there and look at it. Just go look at it, see what's going on down there. Have some plumbing issues, the women's bathroom down the basement.
Have we taken any applications for
Don't know that.
maintenance?
For the maintenance, that's another snow issue coming. Do we have any applications or how's that process? Okay, so maybe. Is there a timeline maybe next week? Do you know a timeline yet or on interviewing? Okay. That's something to think about with snow coming. I thought about that. I reached out to somebody that does snow removal and got home today. We're gonna be out of town, so maybe tomorrow when Melissa's in here, maybe I can give her that phone number, and if she has any other phone numbers, if it happens to snow for Thursday, to contact somebody.
Jacob, and you should ice that.
Oh, she's up there with us.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got a phone number, and I think she said she had a couple others, and I talked to her the other day, maybe to reach out to while we're in between on snow removal, if it snows. So I'll try to get that phone number to the office that I have. Third thing, was brought up at the meeting time, we tried to easy meetings make convenient for people to come to, not to hurt anybody in the world. And there's all kinds of ideas and balance, and try to, do it once a month, do it twice a month, do it 3 times a month. Whatever, one idea had somebody talk to me about was also maybe if we did a late afternoon meeting, we're open to ideas, we just want to be accessible where people can come.
Yep.
So. It can all change anytime to be the most accessible and the most transparent, whatever works the best for everybody, so. A late afternoon meeting, on most factories get off at 3, I think, 2, 3, somewhere in there, 4. One idea just been think about next few weeks, if we did a 3:30 meeting, then we're late, people can hang out and can stay later or whatever, but. I don't know, just open ideas here, we're just trying to figure out the best way to do this to help everybody. Yeah, to be accessible, there's a lot of people here tonight, able to come, but.
I just know that, yeah, and I'm fully flexible as well, with my work as well, so The thing I was just thinking of is every time we had a board meeting, I had to take vacation to come to the meetings during the day, so. But even if there was something that was a compromise between late afternoons
Yeah,
or in the evenings, or, like Sherry said, maybe, 2 night meetings and 2 day meetings, or whatever would work best for the public,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
that's what it's
So,
about.
because we're here for you guys, not for us, so, definitely wanna make sure that we're not inconveniencing anybody. We're trying to try some new things and see how they work. And
Right.
And I think it's important to take staff that has to be here at the meeting into consideration
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, so if we do, try to do a balance, work on this, make the best plan we can to help everybody that wants to come and everybody that, all the businesses that need to come present things, but it's kind of gonna be a change is difficult sometimes. We're trying to do a change to help. That's all we're trying to do. So we can reevaluate anything anytime to make it better. I fixed a lot of things that I turned around and fixed again, figure out I need to adjust a little bit, but that's just something to think about as we go forward the next few weeks. We're open to comment, we're open to thinking about how to do this the best to serve the taxpayer and make it available for them and to talk to us and give us a lot of good ideas came out here tonight that we, I don't have all the answers. It's nice to hear suggestions. And, maybe we didn't think of that, so we can do the best we can to put it all together and have a good plan for all of us, because that's only here to try to make things better, so. Okay, that's what I had. Do you have any other board communication?
I got the privilege of going to the Veterans Affairs, board on, what was that? Last Thursday, right? Last Thursday morning, and, it was, really interesting, and, they do some great work for our county and for our veterans. And so, it was really a privilege to be able to attend. I think anybody's welcome to go to those meetings if they would like, but it's really nice to see the work that they're doing. Also, there's volunteers that go down there and do amazing work. And there's just 2 ladies in that office, and they are doing stuff nonstop for veterans. They live and breathe of all the stuff that they're doing down there, Janet and Denise. So, very thankful for their efforts. Also, last night we had the, health board meeting, with the expanded board, and which was, a learning experience. Again, they did, reports and, what they've been working on and what the tobacco, process has been, and again, they're doing good work for our county, and so, it was nice to be a part of that. And, I think there's some challenges to how we've expanded the board, but, I think if people just give it a chance, I think it'll be beneficial for all of them, so, and us and the county, so, hopefully, some people aren't gonna rush to judgment. They'll take a look and see our actions versus,
Right.
what their thoughts are, so. I was very encouraged.
I think we're pretty fortunate to have 3 people volunteer to do that, but I don't remember exactly how many years. They all have at least 20 years experience, maybe 30, but 60 to 90 years of health background and running their own budget and business. It's pretty amazing to have step up to be a volunteer. So we really appreciate them. Don't want to ever speak ill of that. I don't some of those thoughts are kind of upsetting that anybody would insinuate that. So yeah, very appreciative of people to volunteer with that much experience. So, okay. Now we have claims and things to go through here. On the Board of Health resolution, it doesn't have the extra ones. Does that come maybe another resolution in the future, or how's that work? I don't know.
Building basketball.
Master, okay.
It wasn't on the resolution,
No, we have to maybe make another resolution. Okay.
so you guys, that's the resolution, so it's in the minutes of that.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe make a resolution. Okay. Okay. And on this thought, I said, we're gonna sign all of our boards, our regional boards are on. Whenever the new supervisor is placed here in a few weeks, it sounds like, or whenever that deadline is. We'll kind of maybe have to adjust this again, but I guess for now we can do this. To make sure everybody's got their positions evenly filled.
Yep.
We'll do that, okay. I do appreciate getting these early. Thank you for sending those were. I've already been able to look at all these. Appreciate it. Okay. And the minutes, do we have minutes from last meeting? Do we have any minutes? It's okay, we just do it next week. I didn't see them, maybe I did, I didn't see them. It's okay, we'll just do the minutes next week. Okay. Got that. Yeah, I'll do that, you sign it, I guess I can do that. On the claim, I guess we'll give Tom a chance to finish there. Anybody here's any good contractor to put on any notes, we're open suggestions. We'll call them all, we'll see if we can find a good one. There's a lot of power in the bid, as long as you got a competent bidder, there's a lot of power in the bid. You got it?
You missed one on the
I
back.
missed one?
Yep.
Okay. On the back.
Last page, yep.
Okay, we'll make, I hear a motion to approve the claims.
Make a motion?
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, got that. Now, we can adjourn. But if we need to go look at the restroom, do we, I don't know, we're right down there. I guess we can do it. We can just separately go down there, whatever, look at it. I guess, make it easy to adjourn for everybody, so,
Yeah.
we'll take a peek at it before we go. Okay, I hear a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Yes, thank you.